Me name's Jack Scraggins. I like to term myself as the old retainer to the Macaulays. The Macaulays are the lords and ladies of Mountain View, their property, about 5 miles from the township of Coppabella. Queen Elizabeth's Balmoral estate is 50,000 acres, so the Macaulays near 20,000 acres make them approaching halfway to royalty status. Irrespective of their shortfall in acres, in Coppabella, the Macaulays are royalty. Anyway, that's how the family's seen by the people of the district. Down here in the Antipodes, the natives aren't all that familiar with old retainers. I fulfil the role very nicely indeed, but always on me own terms. I do bung on me old retainer act for the benefit of the Macaulays and for the locals. None of them really know what to think of me, whether I'm eccentric or just plain fucking crazy. Age does that to you. The older you get, the less you give a stuff what anybody thinks of you. I've got away with living life my own way for close on 6 decades now, so that's close on 60 years I've been living on Mountain View. If I was still living in the old country, England for those of you too ignorant to know any better, I'd be an old retainer in the true sense of the word. Pretty well born, living me life and dying all in the service of the one aristocratic family. Loyalty and propriety are the hallmarks of an old retainer, and within reason, I'm loyal to and do the right thing by the Macaulay family. I come out to Australia in 1961 when I'm 20 years old, and I come here to Mountain View when I'm not much older. Back then I was travelling around Australia, and me car comes to a halt in Coppabella in a fissure of steam, and refuses to go any further. I have no money to put a new engine in it or to buy another vehicle. Mr. Charles Macaulay's father, Mr. Papa Jim, is in the bar of the Coppabella Hotel when I walk in, as lonely as an orphan on Father's Day. He takes a look at me for a few seconds and buys me a beer. We get to talking, and when he hears that I'm a bit handy at rugby league, he pays to have me car fixed and gives me a job on Mountain View. I'm quite happy with this arrangement, as until that point in time I had no job, no team, and no roof under which I could take shelter. Coppabella seemed a decent sort of a town. About 3,000 people. Just big enough to mind your own business if you wanted to, and just small enough to spread gossip about others if you wanted to get into that sort of thing. Not that Jim really needs a new employee, but he does need a new player in the town team, the Coppabella Cockerels, who knows one end of a football from the other. Jim is president of the Cockerels, and dead set keen on the game of rugby league. Some of our opponents laugh at our name. Yes, most of us are young and not quite yet grown into fully fledged roosters, but all of us are indeed male, and our team has potential. Jim is always fair and giving credit where credit's due, and he gives me the credit for bringing the potential out in his young chooks. Up until I arrived, the Cockerels hadn't won a game all year. I insisted that me boys tackle their opponents around the lower half of their bodies and not grab, clutch and claw for arms and necks, as do far too many of today's professional players. Those players who can't or won't tackle properly usually end up missing their target. Yes, tackle, tackle, tackle was my philosophy. As I often said, they can't run without legs. It takes me only till the end of the season to wipe the smart-ass grins off the faces of our rival teams, and we win the premiership. I know I have a job on Mountain View for life if I want it. The fact that I work a little magic with their first-grade league team makes me an instant hero with the Coppabellians, most of whom turn up as the spectating crowd each week for our games.